friends, myself Bharat Soni, and on behalf of Jaora Public School Jaora, I am here once again before all of you with a very interesting topic, that is structure of pollen grain. As behind me on the board you can see a typical pollen grain of an angiospermic plant. Angiospermic plants are those plants that bear flowers, and only angiospermic plants can bear pollen grains because flowers are the modified shoots that are meant for reproduction in angiospermic plants. So here the very first diagram, as you can see, it is a typical pollen grain. Morphological structure it is showing, and somewhat it is not smooth. The outer layer that you can see here in the first diagram is wavy, spine-like structures you can see. Now come on to the second part, it is second diagram that is representing the anatomical structure of a pollen grain. Here you can see the outer layer is wavy, it means spiny structures, as you can see. It is the outermost layer of the pollen grain, and this outermost layer of the pollen grain is called exine. What is it called? It is called exine, and it is made up of a very hard organic material or substance that is called sporopollenin. So exine is not the smooth surface, it is the outermost surface of the pollen grain, and it is wavy spiny structure, and it is called the exine, and it is made up of the hardest organic matter that is called sporopollenin. Sporopollenin is the material that protect the pollen grain from the action of acid or any other chemicals, or even sunlight, or even the attack of any other microbe. Here inside the exine you can see a smooth layer, and this smooth layer is called entine. It is called entine. Now below this, inside this entine you can see two cells. One is a bigger cell, and this bigger cell is called the vegetative cell. Vegetative cell. And in that vegetative cell one nucleus you can see, and this nucleus is called the vegetative nucleus. Here, other than the vegetative cell and the vegetative nucleus, you can see a small spindle shaped cell also. So here this spindle shaped cell is called the generative cell. Generative cell, or in other words you can also say it is a germinative cell, and inside this generative cell one nucleus is there. This is called a generative nucleus. So this is a two cell structure of a pollen grain. Now coming on to the next diagram. Here, just before the pollen tube is formed, the vegetative cell remains as such. There is no change in the structure of the vegetative cell. No division takes place in this vegetative cell, but in this generative cell, the generative nucleus, it divides. It means karyokinesis takes place, and by this karyokinesis the nucleus divides into two daughter nuclei, and these two daughter nuclei will become the male gametes. So friends, let's see what happens when pollen tube is formed. Pollen tube is formed when the pollen grains are shed on the stigma of pistil. This is the receptive part, or the first part of the female reproductive structure of the flower, that is called pistil. This is the stigma. When the pollen grain is shedded over to this stigma, a pollen tube is formed. Pollen tube, when it is formed, Now see, this is the pollen tube, and when the pollen tube is formed, the membrane or the cell membrane of the generative cell and the vegetative cell dissolve, and after the dissolution of this cell membrane of the vegetative and the generative cell, first of all this vegetative nucleus passes on to this area. It means the first or the prominent part of the pollen tube. Here it is moving, and this vegetative nucleus enters the pollen tube first, and it becomes tube nucleus. What does it become? It becomes a tube nucleus, and it is followed by these two nuclei, one after each. So these two nuclei is coming in the pollen tube, following this tube nucleus. This is the first male gamete, and this is the second male gamete. This first male gamete will fuse with the egg, and this second generative nucleus or the male gamete, it fuses with the secondary nucleus of embryo cell. This is embryo cell. Antibodal cells are there. This is secondary nucleus. As in the previous we have seen, this is egg. So this first male gamete, it fuses with this egg, and this second nucleus fuses with the secondary nucleus. So after the fusion of the first nucleus or the first male gamete with the egg nucleus, it becomes embryo, or first of all the first cell. It is called the zygote. So here male gamete plus egg nucleus, it gives zygote, and the second male gamete plus secondary nucleus, it gives PEN. PEN means primary endosperm nucleus. These are the post-fertilization changes. In detail, we will be just discussing about this post-fertilization changes in the next session. Till then, Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.